Based on the fixture list, this is probably going to be the last big test of the season. If we get positive results on today's episode, surely that means we're going to win the title. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 21 of One Team, One Dream, Into the Woods. My name is James, and on today's episode, we have two tough away fixtures. Firstly, against rivals Bromley, who are currently in 9th place in the league. We're then going to skip over the home game against FC Halifax because I really want to show the away game against Hartlepool, who currently sit second in the table, just 3 points behind us. Yes, they're now only 3 points behind us, and that's because since the last episode, we've only had one match, but it was a 0-0 draw against, I think, bottom of the table, Weymouth, is it? Or no, it's third from bottom, but definitely struggling Weymouth, who all the reports told me that they were worse than we are, and that it was going to be a fairly straightforward win. They came to us and put 10 men behind the ball. In fact, do you know what? They put 11 men behind the ball. They came here. They came there just to defend, just to eke out the draw which they got. They got what they wanted. We couldn't find a way to break them down, sadly. This means that going into these fixtures today are all the more important, because any more slip-ups and we could actually drop out of first place altogether. And with 11 games still to go, there is still a lot of points to be won and lost. So let's get into the first match of today's episode as we go away to rivals Bromley. And with having only had one match in between, this is pretty much the team that was played in the second match of the last episode. The only change is McDonald is still injured. I believe he's out for a couple more days. He's back tomorrow. So hopefully he'll be back for the second match. But Mundell comes in for him, switches over to that Mazzala role, and Adebayi then switches over to the Carolero role on the left-hand side. So this is the team that's going to be facing Bromley today. We have Huddard in goal, back four of Femi, Tizard, Tricker and Winter. Adebayi, Iqbal, Mundell in central midfield. Lewis is the attacking midfielder with Fagan and Colehurst up front. We're also going into this with a positive mentality, as we went into with an attacking mentality in the last match. I don't think it really worked. I think we were pushing too hard. I think we were going too quickly and we weren't taking the opportunities. We were just snatching them instead. So we're going to go into this with a positive mentality. I do believe we are a better team than Bromley, so we should be getting a win from this episode. But I think if we push a little less and try and just wait for opportunities, then I think we will reap the benefits of that. I'm going to point the finger. We could potentially lose the top spot today. I expect nothing but a win. That definitely showcases my thoughts for today's match. I do expect a win. I should have expected a win in the last match, but we didn't quite get it. So this one means we definitely need a win here if we want to stay where we are currently. And the Bromley goalkeeper has a goal kick, kicks it forward. Wilson has the ball in loads of space. He had a free shot there as well. Goalkeeper didn't even move. I don't know why Huddard didn't react there. Luckily the ball went over the bar and nothing came of it. But with only less than 20 minutes on the clock, we have dominated in terms of shots and shots on target. Colehurst has the ball here from the throw, whips into the centre to his partner Fagan. The Bromley goalkeeper though was right in front of him, managed to clutch the header. But we have another throw in here, again with Winter, this time to Mundell. Mundell to Adebayi, to Colehurst in the penalty area, takes a shot. What a rocket from Colehurst there, right into the near top corner of the goal for his 15th goal of the season. That is absolutely fantastic, because it has been a while since Colehurst has scored. He even came out in the media saying that he was determined to end the goal drought, and today he has ended that goal drought to put us 1-0 up against rivals Bromley. And on 33 minutes we have another throw, and this time on the other side with Femi to Iqbal, to Adebayi. Looks to bring it into the centre and a little bit more space. Out wide to Winter on the overlap. Can he whip the cross into the centre? He can. Looking for Adebayi. Couldn't find him, but the ball is cleared. And in as far as Iqbal. Iqbal this time goes out left-hand side to Femi. Femi takes it into the penalty area. Can he go past his man and get whipping across? No, he goes back to Adebayi. Back to Femi. He's got a little bit more space. Into the centre. Femi takes a shot. Lewis takes a shot. The deflections everywhere. Iqbal does collect the loose ball as it comes out. Unfortunately, nothing more comes of that. But just coming out to half-time, and we have another highlight here. Winter with the ball to Mundell. Can we make something of this one instead? Iqbal to Adebayi. Adebayi from range. He's done it once already this season. Tries to go for another spectacular goal. The goalkeeper this time was able to put it over the bar, and we have a corner. Iqbal whipped into the centre, looking for Fagan. The ball is cleared, but only as far as Lewis. Lewis loses the ball, but Tricker manages to collect it. Tricker is fouled by Roberts, I believe that was there, for a free kick. Fortunately, McDonnell isn't on the field. We know he's our free kick specialist. Iqbal takes it instead, whips it over the top of the wall. Unfortunately, Maloney is wise to it and is able to clutch the ball to his chest. And we are for 41 minutes. Bromley did have a throw in. We managed to clear it from Femi. Fagan to Colehurst. Colehurst's gone past his man. He's in space in the penalty area. Another rocket from Colehurst. Maloney manages to get a hand on it this time and managed to push it over the bar. Iqbal with another opportunity from a corner into the centre. Taylor clears it for Bromley. Tricker, though, is quickest to the ball, but that ends the highlight. And they're coming thick and fast now, just before half time. Iqbal tries to win the ball from a Bromley throw-in. Unfortunately, Bromley win it back to Trotter, to Seymour. Now to Jones, who's in the penalty area. Femi does well though to block the cross. That now clears it for Fagan. Fagan, can he win the ball back? He does. Adebayo now with the ball in central midfield, looking to bring it forward, looking for men on the overlap. Iqbal to Femi, to Fagan, back to Femi. Nice 1-2 there. Bring it past his man into the penalty area. He has got a couple of men on him though. I don't know what that was. He tried to get the cross in. I think he spooned that off the edge of his foot and went out. And at half time, it is 1-0. Not quite the scoreline I'd expect from the domination in this first half. 61% possession, 16 shots, 10 on target, an XG of 1.05. I think we need to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal in this second half. I'm going to pump my fists. We've played well, but I know there is room for improvement there. I think one thing I'm going to change is shoot on sight, which I keep meaning to change outside of the match and keep forgetting. I'll switch it to work the ball into the box. Hopefully that will limit the amount of wild attempts from range. And straight away we have a highlight. Bromley clear the ball from a Huddard. That's a goal kick. It wasn't a goal kick. He just kicked it forward. But Huddard has a second opportunity this time to kick it forward, looking for our strikers. Lewis tries to get the ball, but it's cleared. But as far as Winter, Colehurst goes past his man into the penalty area, slides it past the goalkeeper for his second of the game and his 16th of the season. Hopefully this is Colehurst unleashed now. Well, now his goal drive is out of the way. Huddard with the ball forward. Thompson tries to clear it. Winter kicks it back in though. Brilliant ball forward. Colehurst manages to shuffle past his man into space. Slots the ball past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0 to us. That's much more comfortable now. But straight away, Bromley have made a substitution and have the kickoff, a highlight from the kickoff. Tizard, though, manages to clear the ball forward to Adebayo, to Winter. Winter with the ball forward yet again. Colehurst, unfortunately, isn't wise to it this time. Is caught flat-footed. But the ball is cleared only as far as Femi, to Adebayo, to Fagan. We're doing really well, but Bradley manages to clear the ball this time away. A wayward pass from Fagan. Huddard now with the ball. We're barely 3 minutes into this second half. Big ball forward. Lewis is through this time on goal. Can't unfortunately get past the goalkeeper, but does manage to collect the loose ball. And this time his cross is deflected out for a corner. We've had 3 or 4 key opportunities, even this first couple of minutes. Iqbal with a corner this time into the centre, looking for Fagan. Unfortunately, the ball is cleared yet again. Maybe I'll switch Fagan out. I'm not sure what height Fagan is, but maybe we need to switch him out for someone else at that back post if that's where the ball's going to keep going. Bernard with the corner, Taylor with the header. Luckily, the ball goes over the top for a goal kick, and it doesn't trouble Huddard in goal. Only about less than half an hour left on the clock. Looks like Mundo is struggling a little bit. He has only just come back from injury. So we're going to bring Robson on that right-hand side in the Mazzala role. Not a role that he is 100% comfortable with, but as a 3-star in that area, he should be able to see out today's game. I'm also going to take Winter off and bring on Daniel for a little bit of fresh legs over on that right-hand side. One thing I did notice was that both those players I brought on there were showing as complacent. So I'm hoping they don't cause us any problems. But we have Bromley have a throw in here on 74 minutes. Wilson with a cross into the centre. Femi manages to clear it, but only as far as Son Bernard. Now out to Jones. Jones looked to take Femi on. He does. Femi, I don't know what was happening. What happened? Held back by. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, that is a ridiculous decision. Femi has played very well in this game. I don't think he deserves that. Wilson with the penalty. And on 75 minutes, Bromley get a goal back on a very soft penalty call there by the referee. Huddard is sent the wrong way. Hopefully that is just a consolation goal for them now. But Iqbal is also struggling. Assistant referees recommended Thomas comes on for him. I think what we're going to do in the last few minutes is we are going to switch. We're going to switch things up a bit. As well as Lewis is playing, we're going to drop him back into central midfield. We're going to push Robson out onto the left-hand side. Take Iqbal off, bring on Thomas. Switch Robson to an inverted winger on support. We're also going to switch Lewis to being an advanced playmaker on support as well, so he can make up the area that the gap he has left here. We'll leave Adebayi on the Carolero role. And I think we're also going to switch to an attacking mentality. Maybe I should have done this earlier in the game, but I think we should push forward, try and get a third, because we are precarious now with only one goal between us, and this is the type of match where the other opposition have done absolutely nothing, and we can end up conceding very late on. But coming into injury time now, and there's been no highlights, and that is it, full time. Not quite as convincing a win as I would hoped, but at the end of the day, it's 3 points. We absolutely dominated the game. I'll be interested to see what... Let's have a look and see how their goalkeeper got on. I mean, an 8.2, that's why we didn't score anymore today. I'm there trying to blame my players. Maloney having the game of his career, an 8.2 there for Bromley. He saved them from it being far more than it was. That's more worrying than anything. At 3 shots, they had 1.31 XG, which means those were 3 very clinical shots. Yes, one of them, I suppose, was a penalty. That probably goes a long way. But they definitely picked things up. Even before that penalty, the things started to pick up a little bit for them. But we managed to avoid that banana skin. So I'm going to say outstretched arms, a good win for us. Positive vibes going into the second match of today's episode, which is going to be a much, much tougher test as we go away to Hartlepool. Well, we managed to get a 2-0 home victory against FC Halifax with goals from Colehurst and Bange, who came on for Fagan late on in the match, managed to grab himself a goal. So here's the first goal here. Fagan with the ball on the edge of the penalty area to Mundell, to Iqbal, through to Colehurst, who finds himself in space in the penalty area, slots it in for his third in 2 games. He really has started to find his shooting boots now. And here's the second one. Bange managed to go around the fullback. Brilliant run by Bange. Puts it into the top corner. Fantastic individual effort from him. He really is an exciting prospect. So that is another game unbeaten. We've actually now managed 8 games unbeaten now. Hopefully we can keep this going for the rest of the season. But I think the longer it goes on, obviously the harder that is going to be able to keep going. But hopefully we will continue that for at least this game against Hartlepool as we go away for against another different team in another top of the table clash. One thing I also did realise after recording the first match, I didn't even acknowledge that Fifield was on the bench. Fifield, who's played 28 games so far this season. I dropped him for the game against Weymouth, and Tizard actually played quite well. And as long as we're not losing, I'm happy to keep Tizard in, because I would rather develop Tizard as a youngster in central defence and use Fifield as a backup when Fifield is more likely coming to the end of his time at the club. Probably has another season or 2 in him, depending on where we end up in terms of leagues. But I'd rather focus on the new blood than keep the old guard in the squad. But apart from that, the team is exactly the same. The team that faced Bromley in the first match, and exactly the same team that faced the FC Halifax. This will be the 3rd day game in a row. We are unchanged. Hopefully, we get another positive result, which will be 3 games winning on the trot, which definitely gives us a morale boost going into the final part of the season. I'm going to say point the finger, and I'm going to say go out there and carry on what he did in the last match. I think that's probably going to be the best way of going about it. Not putting too much pressure on the guys coming into what is going to be a very tough game, but just reminding them of what they have done in the last couple of matches and hoping they can replicate it in this one as well. And on 14 minutes, Hartlepool have a throw-in. We've managed to clear it. Femi managed to clear it forward to Fagan. Fagan turns his man quite easily. He now has space to run into the penalty area, but the defender has caught up, manages to tackle Fagan, and the ball is now going to be cleared by Donaldson, who brings it forward for Hartlepool. They're now looking to counter-attack instead. Bloomfield back to Donaldson, who's managed to find a little bit of space. Femi, though, is jockeying him, trying to get the ball back. Donaldson is keeping the ball, though, right to the byline. Femi manages to tackle him. Another big ball forward. This time to Fagan, to Colehurst. One-touch football. Absolutely brilliant. Colehurst in the penalty area, fortunately straight at the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper came out to meet him and was able to smother the ball and stop Colehurst scoring for the third consecutive game. All right, half-time, and that was pretty much it. Nothing really has happened in that first half, apart from that one really nothing highlight. I think two teams there who are both very wary about losing this game and realising how much damage it could do for how close the teams are below them. But I'm going to point the finger, not happy with the performance out there. They need to go out and do better in the second half. We have a highlight straight away from the second half kickoff. Hartlepool with the ball, looking to bring it forward. Donaldson with the ball now. We know he can run as he came at Femi in the first half. Now to Simpson. Simpson whipped into the centre. Bloomfield's in space. Young looks for the ball. We managed to clear it, but only as far as Ferguson. Now Shelton. Mundell managed to win the ball back. Colehurst managed to win the ball. Turn his man, and he's got a little bit of space. Has he got anybody with him? He has. Fagan in the centre. Colehurst is tackled, though, by Tilson. Is this going to be another nothing highlight? Because that is two really big nothing highlights so far for this game. Winter has the ball now. To Adebayi. To Colehurst. Winter on the overlap, in a little bit of space. Can he wheel the ball into the centre? Brings it into the penalty area. Back to Mundell. Mundell across to Lewis. He's cleared then by Hartlepool. And yes, it was another nothing highlight. What a waste of time that highlight was. And we have another highlight on 57 minutes. While this is going on, I'm going to demand more from the players. Huddard's goal kick only goes as far as Ferguson. Ferguson kicks it forward to Huddard. Give him, very kind of him, give another opportunity to try and kick the ball forward. He's presumably going to go long yet again. Huddard puts it forward. Looking for one of our strikers. Finds absolutely no one except Simpson. Now Hartlepool going to break it forward, but Mundell manages to find the loose ball to Colehurst. Can Colehurst do something with it this time? Manages to turn into the penalty area. A very weak shot. It has been very poor by both teams so far in this game. And yet another nothing highlight. And I think on 64 minutes, let's make some changes because we're definitely not doing anything in this game. Tidzar's having a poor game, so I'm going to take him off, bring on Fifield. Fagan yet again having a poor game, so I'm going to bring on Banj for him. And we'll put Banj up as a poacher. See how those two guys get on and see if we can demand a little bit more from them. We can't at the moment. We can now. Maybe encourage the players this time instead of demanding more. But Hartlepool have a corner. I think one goal is going to win this. It's going to be sickening if it's them. Donald with the whip into the centre. Bloomfield at the front post. Makes it 1-0 to Hartlepool. And it's yet another set piece. What is it with us and set pieces? Let's go attacking. Demand more. This is ridiculous because, I mean, I would presume Hartlepool didn't win their game in between because we are still 2 points ahead of them. So we have lucked into this, I think, more than anything. Lewis is also having a poor game. Let's push Iqbal forward. Bring McDonnell on. Tricker, I presume, was the player that was meant to be marking Bloomfield when he scored because he's now on a 6.3. But I think that's going to be it. Coming up to the final couple of minutes, we have a final corner. Come on, McDonnell, work your magic. Bloomfield manages to clear it. He's apparently good from both sides when it comes to corners. But Adebayi's managed to collect the loose ball. Come on, let's get a final goal. Let's get a draw. Be happy with a point here. Adebayi to Mundell from range. And he's done it! In the 93rd minute, Mundell comes into the penalty area to find the loose ball for only his third goal of the season to clinch a draw in this game. It is completely undeserved, if I'm honest. Because we completely threw this away with that set piece, but we have managed it. I mean, I say it's completely undeserved. You know what? I'm going to go contradict myself, go back on that and say, based on the stats, a draw is probably fair. I don't think either team really deserved to win that. But we have managed to clutch a draw from the jaws of defeat there, if we're going really cliche. But what I am going to say is I'm going to point the finger. I am not happy with the result. I am going to say, though, to the midfielders, appreciate the efforts. They were unlucky today in midfield. Because both Mundell and Adebayi played well. So that means somehow, some way, we've managed to keep the 5-point gap. How have Hartlepool got on in the last couple of games? Let's go on to their schedule. Scroll down. So they've drawn 2 out of the last 3 games. Oh, of course, they drew against us, but they drew their first match on today's episode. that'd be why we've managed to keep the 5-point gap then. And that is definitely a perfect headline there. Boreham would rescue late draw. I'm going to say to Mundell, his passing was a joy to behold. 100% pass completion from Mundell in that game. Really did give a good case for him staying in the squad, even with McDonnell now fully fit, and keeping McDonnell on the bench. But we've managed to extend our unbeaten run now to 9 games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep playing forward based on the fact that we're still only 5 points ahead of second place. More than likely, I think we probably will end up coming back for the last couple of games. I will probably do a slightly bumper episode for the next one, where maybe we come back a little bit earlier and play as many games as it takes to actually get to either win the title and go up as champions, or to drop into the playoffs. And then, if worst case scenario is we have the playoffs on next week's episodes. But fingers crossed, the end of this week we'll be celebrating a title win and a first ever trip for Boreham Wood into the Football League. If you enjoyed that, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to be notified of that final episode of the season when it comes out. And thank you very much for watching.